Hello, and welcome back to the show! Before we get started, make sure you like, share, and leave a comment at the end of the video. And if you like the show and want more, make sure you check out our Patreon, where you can access content like behind-the-scenes vlogs, previews for up-and-coming projects, gaming sessions, and exclusive bonus episodes. Also, make sure you check out our Etsy shop for merch. We have plenty of shirts, mugs, and even stickers. And lastly, if you want to follow us elsewhere, look for @RyanPotsFunny on all other platforms. Now on with the show. Hello, and welcome back to Reydar, the show with one goal, to become best friends by the end of the episode. Today, I have a very wonderful guest, Jay Light.
Hi.
A comedian, show host. I saw in your IMDb you were a junior producer of content.
I've worked on, a bunch of like reality and game shows.
Hell yeah.
So I have MasterChef is my main like writing job.
Nice.
I started as a junior content producer, which is a writer.
Right.
But like entry level. But then I've worked my way up, so now I'm the head writer of MasterChef.
Nice.
But it's tough because there's not an actual writer.
Right. It's reality TV.
It's reality, but there's still like that's the job. Is like I'm writing things down.
Hell yeah.
It's
Before
fun.
I forget, people want to find you. You're what is it? Diet J.
Diet J.
Diet J, because your name is Jay Light.
Yes, exactly.
Very clever.
I've had that one since high school.
Nice.
And it's been it's one of those things like somebody. I think it was like junior year. It was like, oh, Jay Light, like half the calories of regular Jay. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You know what? Keeping that forever.
Hell yeah. My original handle was the Ryan Reyes because I thought I'd have to compete. Turns out not a lot of people have my name.
Well, you got a unique spelling of Ryan on top of it. Yeah. Like
which
Ryan
I think
Johnson.
is such a funny concept because for Ryan, it's unique.
Mm-hmm.
For Brian, it's like one of 5 common spellings.
Right.
I've seen Brian spelled Breoin, and people still get it right.
Wow.
They see an I in my name and they're like, Rain? No.
Rian?
They think I messed up spelling my own name. Crazy.
Can't have that.
The only problem I've ever had is trying to come up with a clever name that isn't already taken in the Philippines, because apparently there are a lot of Ryans in the Philippines.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm hoping that you figured that out. You got it sorted out by now.
Yeah, now it's Ryan Speaks Funny, which
There you
is
go.
clever. It's a little long spelling wise, but it's clever. I'm autistic. It works.
Yeah.
Is my collar okay? I'm on Strattera right now, so I'm just like, I'm aware of myself.
What's Strattera?
It's a non-stimulant ADHD medication.
Oh, okay.
So with like Adderall, the idea is to stimulate the parts of your brain that are in charge of focus.
Mm-hmm.
For non-ADHD people, it like turns it up to 11. For ADHD people, it just helps them be normal.
Right.
Mine works the opposite. Mine increases the areas that create dopamine so that I'm less likely to get distracted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The problem is I'm also autistic, so I'm just more aware of my physical being.
Sure.
And it's like...
So there's a lot of awareness happening.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
And now we're here.
Hell yeah, now we're here. And we're here to... I thought I'd have something clever by the end of that sentence. I didn't, but we're going to get into this box of friendship.
We're here to enlighten.
That's why he's on MasterChef.
That's why I'm the #1 head content producer.
Hell yeah. So we're going to get into this box of friendship with these wonderful guys. Before we do it, because I was going to ask and then I didn't ask, what is the writing portion of being a head writer on MasterChef? Like, what do you do?
So basically, every reality show in general has some sort of writer involved,
right.
But it's all dependent on the genre of show. So like I work on competition shows. So any writing that I'm doing is based on making sure that the hosts have all of the information that they need to communicate to the contestants and then by extension, the audience at home. So my writing job is like we've got a couple other producer teams. We have like the culinary team who handles all the food. We have the challenge team who handles making all of the challenges that the cooks have to do. We have the story team who's in this. Their job is telling the stories of the contestants. So I talk to all them. I figure out what is our episode today. How can I have Gordon and the other judges explain that in the simplest possible way? And I write a script for that. And then everything else is, because it's a competition, there's no involvement from my end,
right?
In terms of like, I'm not writing like a storyline. It's not like wrestling, or it's like I'm not planning stuff out like that. But I am there to observe and basically be like the voice of the judges. So if I see something that I think is interesting, worth commenting on, or story team sees something, or one of the other producers sees something, they tell me, or we tell our showrunners, and then we're like, hey, they should say this. And then once we have a result, then I help just make sure that everything sounds normal and not. I'm basically there to help them not have to go completely off the cuff with some of just like the structural parts of the show,
like snazzy comebacks.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It helps too. Yeah.
How does that work in production? Like, are you on the set being like, like he should have said this, he should say this right now?
Yeah, I go in and I'm there from the start of the day till wrap.
Okay.
Whenever we're shooting,
like gently guiding to like create moments.
I think it's more not even guiding; it's more like observing, and it's kind of. I mean, this is the thing that I think is. I appreciate this type of work because it reminds me in a way of like just regular comedy writing, where you have to, I think, take an observation and pull it down and go, oh, this is the thing. This is the thing you should notice. And then just bring that out.
And that's happening in the moment, like on the fly?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. It's a fun gig. I had no idea that they ever would need somebody like me to work on shows like this. And I worked at the Comedy Store for like 5 years as a door guy. And at the end of my time there, somebody came up to me. I'd done a set. They were like, hey, I really like your set. I think you're really funny. I think you'd be great in this writer's room for this game show pilot that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So I worked on that. And then that company made BattleBots. And then somebody I made BattleBots with brought me in for MasterChef. And all of the stuff for BattleBots and this game show is like, oh, this is comedy writing. Like I'm writing actual jokes here. And then MasterChef, I was like, when I did the interview, I was like, what do you need a comedy writer for? And they were like, well, we want the show to not feel super serious.
Because I think he came up with Idiot Donut?
Idiot Sandwich. Fun fact. That is actually, everybody doesn't realize this. That's from an old Jimmy Kimmel sketch.
Really?
That's Jimmy Kimmel did a Hell's Kitchen sketch years and years and years ago that Gordon was in.
Oh,
that's so
funny.
Right.
That's right. I did hear about that.
But everybody forgets. And now Idiot Sandwich has become like one of Gordon's catchphrases. And a donut. Yeah. He loves calling people donuts, donkeys. I've heard it all. I've seen him throw just about every kind of food you could imagine throwing into a bush, at a bird, at a wall.
So where's the line on like it's mostly them. It's all them, and you're just. It's kind of confusing to me. I'm kind of trying to understand.
So I am there, like I said, basically to just do like the structural stuff.
Like the narrative of the episode, kind of.
Yeah. So they have on camera. They have to explain. This is what you're doing today. These are the kinds of ingredients you're going to be using. You have this much time. That you're on teams today. You're cooking by yourselves today. So I write all of that stuff, and then once the cook is actually happening, I'm just paying attention to see if there's anything that I can be using later on, or in the moment sometimes to be like, oh, he should comment on this. He should say something about this. And I don't always have the exact wording because Gordon has been doing television for, I think, 20 plus years, cooking for even longer than that. So he knows way more about some of the language and stuff than I do. So I'm not trying to put a bunch of words in Gordon's mouth, because sometimes he's perfect at it himself. One of my favorite Gordon things that I didn't even come close to writing, he just had this one on his own. We did an episode one time. We did it was a classic restaurant takeover, which is a MasterChef format where they go to a regular restaurant and they have the cooks cook on the line, like Hell's Kitchen style. And there was this one contestant who was really just like so in the weeds, almost like deer in the headlights, paralyzed at one point, just staring at the food as it was sitting on the pass, and they're supposed to be plating it, but just couldn't, just was like completely,
Right.
standstill. And Gordon comes up and goes, "What are you doing?" And the contestant goes, "I'm surveying." And then Gordon says, "Survey." And then he picks up, and it was a piece of fish. And he opens the fish, and the fish was not cooked. And he goes, "Survey says it's fucking raw," and throws the fish at the wall.
I've seen that.
We were on the control.
Oh
We
my
lost
God.
it because we were like, that has to make the episode. That's genius.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's like as popular as the bread thing.
It's
yeah,
great.
I've seen that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that guy
that's,
seems chill.
that's the genius of somebody who's been working in not just food, but food TV for that
Yeah.
long, is that they can just throw a line out there like that and maybe even forget that they said it a day later and be like,
That's
"Oh
so
yeah, I said
good.
this thing. This is great."
Speaking of things we forgot, we have questions. Let me get into this. So we're going to try
Question
a
time.
little bit different than the last time, be more interactive with the guests. I don't know what card I'm going to pull because you're going to pull the card. So I'm going to fan it out, and you're going to pick one, and then I'm going to read it, and then we'll just
Cool.
bond.
Getting back into my
Yeah,
magician
so we're
days.
starting off with the cold. Where, you know what I mean? I don't know if anyone got the submarine motif from all this crap, but we're starting at ice level. We need like a graphic. Well, I'll build one. So we're at the surface. Icebreaker questions.
I would not have gotten submarine from any of this stuff that's on.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, there's two. Let's do the one that's on the top. Yeah.
All right, so name a movie you think is so bad that it's good.
Oh, a movie that is so bad that it's good.
There's a few that I could think of. I have this concept when I go to the movies of monster truck movies. And I call it this because it's like when you go to a monster truck rally, you're not going to see eloquence. You're going to see shit blow up.
Oh yeah.
So there's these movies like it's not supposed to be good.
I have. It's like for me, that's like a good time at the movies movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're just seeing it to enjoy. And I think that there is an artfulness to doing a movie that is not designed to be a prestige movie, but doing it incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like I think for me, the first movie that I ever saw that made me feel like that was Snakes on a Plane, which I saw on my birthday when I would turn 16. Incredible time.
Great
What
movie.
a movie. The most recent movie that I saw that made me feel like that I always recommend to people is Ambulance, the Michael Bay movie.
Michael Bay Ambulance.
Yeah. So
Oh,
the one with Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yeah,
yes. and
I
Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second.
missed the beginning of it, but I saw that movie. That movie's crazy.
I watched that movie on a plane. My wife had seen it in theaters, and she was raving about it. And I think she saw it at like the IMAX at City Walk, and I was like, I would never have expected you to like this movie. This doesn't seem like your kind of thing. And it's kind of like Heat for idiots, because it's so just low stakes, bank robbers. Everybody's really dumb. Everything is so just like on its face.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. And the dynamic between the two leads is really great. They're supposed to be their adopted brothers who like were in a bank robbing gang together, and then they got back into it by stealing this ambulance. There's one of my favorite scenes in movie history where so Jake Gyllenhaal's the main guy. Yahya Abdul-Mateen really wants to not be in the bank robbing life anymore, but he gets roped back in, and he's sitting in the front seat of this ambulance after everything. They're like literally turning back around to try and get the ambulance to the hospital, I think. And everything turns, and Jake Gyllenhaal blasts Sailing by Christopher Cross, and they have a sing-along in the middle of the action. And it's beautiful.
That's so funny.
It's so good.
I'm trying to think of movies that hit like that.
My so bad it's good movie is Sniper Special Ops with Steven Seagal.
That'll do
it's
it.
a war movie where he's like the hero, and it's so awful. It's so bad, but it's hilarious.
I've never seen a single Steven Seagal movie.
This one is on YouTube for free.
Okay.
And it's hilarious, dude. There's like a scene where he's like sniping people, but he's like doing this thing where he's like in a like, I don't know, in a second story of a building, and he's like everywhere he looks there's like another person, but it's like clearly not. It's like one of those Hollywood things, you know what I mean? Where he's like looking in all these different directions, and there's someone else that he can, and he's shooting them one
every single time. And he's always perfect shot.
Always perfect shot. But then he's like huffing. He's like older already, so he's like all like big and like bloated, and it just looks. It's such a ridiculous movie. It's hilarious to watch.
You know, I think my most recent pick, and I don't know if it'll be controversial or not, is the latest Jurassic Park.
The brand new one with Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali. I have not had a desire to see any of the Jurassic new versions of it, but
not
this one seems fun.
The first Jurassic World, same. But my brother wanted to see it, and I was like, I don't have a reason not to see it. And you know what I mean? Like I told him, I was like, it's not that I don't want to; it's that it's going to be the same film again.
Right?
You know, the dinosaurs get out. They weren't supposed to, and some corporate dude gets eaten at the end.
Yeah.
It is not technically the same in the sense of like technically everything goes wrong and nothing goes wrong at the same time. Like they accomplish their mission with almost nobody, you know what I mean? I mean, have you seen it?
No.
Oh, do you want like do you mind if I talk about it? I'm a spoiler alert.
Go for it. I have a feeling I can peg what's going to happen, which is there's some scary dinosaurs. And some people die, but everybody turns out okay.
Yes. But in the most, this is a movie that you're, like, you went to the movies, this is a movie kind of way. Like if an autistic person described how, it's about to happen, how Jurassic movies went, that's how the movie feels to watch.
Does the bad guy get killed by a dinosaur and like a...
The very last dinosaur,
he's
yeah.
Like walking or something and being like, I'm about to win this whole thing. And then he just gets attacked.
Yeah, absolutely. The things that they'll change is like the T-Rex doesn't fight anybody. He's just kind of there. He almost eats a baby, but doesn't.
Okay. Cop out.
There's one character who's obnoxiously like Gen Z.
Okay.
Like... So there's two pairs of people. There's people that are on expedition, and then there's this family that just happened to be in the area because this dad is like wealthy and he owns a boat, his own boat, and so he wants to sail from America to like the south, he wants to cross the Gulf.
Okay.
Even though there's dinosaurs,
yeah.
Even though the last movie they got out.
Yeah,
and,
there's dinosaurs out and about in the world now.
And they catch him and they were like, "Why are you out here? That's irresponsible." And he's like, "I've done it before." I'm like, "Why?"
Foolish.
You weren't supposed to. But so he's bringing his daughter who's about to go away for college, and she brings her boyfriend who she insists is a good guy, and he's just like obnoxiously like he's a stoner. He doesn't want to deal with the boat. He like should die the whole movie and doesn't, and it becomes literally a raptor is about to eat him, and then a pterodactyl with a raptor's face swoops in and saves him.
Wow.
Damn, if you're a stoner and you don't want to deal with the boat, you deserve to die. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would be out of luck.
Yeah.
Stoners should want to hang out on a boat.
Well, I don't want to get eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah. And then he saves his girlfriend. I don't know if he's meant to be seen as a good guy or not.
It sounds like he's kind of a good boyfriend.
Because he saves her and then immediately takes like the weed that she was holding for him out and then puts his... was like, was that why you saved her? It's such a confusing vibe.
He's showing up on this island, on this boat that he doesn't want to be on because his girlfriend wants him to.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
And he's in love with Mary Jane.
True. Yeah.
I saw a meme that was like the Matrix meme of the architect, you know, like the guy in the white suit with all the TVs.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, this is the 6th time we've made a worse Jurassic Park. And he's like, we're becoming exceedingly efficient at it.
Yeah, I mean, terribly.
That's funny.
There's so many funny... Technically, the main mission goes off without a hitch. Like, they're supposed to extract DNA from all of the big dinosaurs.
Okay.
And they do, without any problem.
That's good. Good for them.
Yeah, I love when people write a good time for themselves.
Yeah.
We're also like there was no. They missed an opportunity to make some whack ass dinosaurs, like because this is supposed to be the island where they
all
put
the mutated dinosaurs,
the bad
right?
ones, the ones that look like turned out ugly. Like the last one is ugly as shit.
Yeah,
and he has big regular arms and then tiny arms for no reason that just look menacing. They go like this the whole time. It's funny.
It's funny to bring back dinosaurs and then be superficial about them. They're like, oh god, these ones are so ugly. We only want
this dinosaur's busted.
But yeah,
we only want snatched dinosaurs.
They're so lazy. Like the hybrids are so boring. It's just like I said, like a pterodactyl with a raptor head, or like brachiosauruses with just longer legs or longer tails, like whippy tails.
Weird.
And they're called titanosauruses.
Boring.
Yeah, it's awful.
Uncreative.
Terrible. My favorite part though. Okay, so they're climbing down a mountain. And the dude who's never mountain climbed before is the last one to drop.
Okay.
Nobody's supervising him. And he almost dies. And then when he lands, they find out there was stairs the whole time.
Classic. Great bit.
It's a great movie. It's awful, but it's hilarious.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Let's get to that yellow.
Yeah. Let's break into we're going to just power through these. I'm supposed to.
We move.
Kind of.
It's tricky. I have to put
there's
barbs.
a thing.
You
Okay.
guys like the
Figure it
static
out.
of the felt.
Okay.
We're relying on that felt static.
Felt static. I felt static. Sparks. Friendship. You get the joke.
Okay.
You said you were a magician?
I was a teenage magician.
That's crazy.
These cards are not. Well, the thing with playing cards is they have like a coating to them. Yeah, so these are not.
Still looks so much prettier. Look at
We gotta get these laminated or something.
There you go. That'll do.
I don't want to pull an easy one.
And that's called Magician's Choice.
Ah.
You went right to the middle. That's how you trick people. You go right to the one in the middle that's fanned out.
Art.
I saw a CGI thing, by the way.
Oh my god!
This morning, somebody was posting about like, remember how good CGI used to look? And it was from Transformers 2, which was a pretty bad Transformers movie, all things considered, but it did have great CGI with like the little, like the paper thin Transformer.
Yeah.
And it was the CGI of like that Transformer coming together and walking around, and it looked so good. And everybody now, all the CGI these days does look so shitty, and I don't know why that is.
I have several thoughts about this. I argue with people on the internet over this. Mostly younger people who are like, no, it looks good. I'm like, it doesn't.
No, young people are fools.
I feel like it's a combination of several things. One, and this isn't my thing. This is something I read where like the what do you call it? Definition of TV is getting so good that it's really easy to tell what's not
you can
there.
see, yeah.
Another thing is like a lot of people have stopped. They use like markers to pinpoint, but there's no practical effect to go over the way that they used to do it.
Sure.
The other thing is like when you look at that scene, like it blurs out the background, so it's easy to focus on the main image because it only has to worry about what's in the shot, like what's directly touching the robot.
Yeah.
The rest is blurred out, so you don't have to worry about it. Like your eye can create that bridge for you.
Yeah. I also think that there's an element, especially if it's like a franchise, where they're trying to crank them out a little bit faster. I've seen this in like, particularly in Marvel movies of the past maybe 2 or 3 years, where because I think they were trying to keep the timeline as compressed as they were with the releases, that stuff was just getting rushed out.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have the time to have that extra little level of polish that everything used to have.
That's the other thing, and that's like why phases are kind of like not proving to be as efficient as they thought they were.
That's why they're scaling them back.
Because then stuff gets chopped, you get bad product. Even if it's like the most aesthetically pleasing, like Thor: Love and Thunder had potential. And you can tell there's so much that was cut out of that film.
That was the fourth one, right? The one after Ragnarok?
Yeah. It's
I never saw it, but I saw Ragnarok.
It's the one with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
It's not well received. And I liked it, but I liked like the bits that were Taika Waititi's like thing. But you can tell from what I heard, it was meant to be like 3.5 hours and they cut it down to like an hour and a half. There's so much that we just
I think
didn't
one
get.
of the main factors with the CGI stuff too is budgeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Costs them a lot. It takes a long time.
They also like
so you have to pay a
the
bunch of people to do stuff to do it shorter.
what's the word? They when you hand something
Outsource it.
down.
Oh,
Well, yeah, outsourcing. Delegate to a lot of like when you look at the effects teams, there's like different ones for different parts of the movie.
Right.
yeah. People work like their whole job is just one scene.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how different it looks. But the question, what is something about you that is both a blessing and a curse?
Something about me that is both a blessing and a curse.
It's pretty deep for a yellow.
That is, man. We went. That is a big leap in depth.
What is that in nautical? Knots? Is that the nautical term?
That's a speed term. I think knots is if we're going down. If we're in the submarine metaphor.
There's a book.
Leagues.
Yes.
Leagues.
20,000 leagues under the sea. This is a 10,000 league depth type question. If we were at iceberg level, we just dropped precipitously. Something about me that is both a blessing and a curse. I do think. Okay, I really am. I was just thinking about this the other day. I am a very easy laugh. Like, it's very easy for me to find something funny, but that is also because I think I have a much easier time finding stuff funny that is probably not supposed to be found funny.
Right.
Like, I love watching bad comedy
Right.
and laughing at it out loud.
Me too, dude.
I have a tendency to like laugh more at situations that I think a lot of other people would find uncomfortable or inappropriate time to laugh at something when I'm totally able to laugh at it, which I think is nice for me. But also I do have to be aware of that especially when I'm not around people who understand comedy.
Right.
Like, I have really to and like times to like hold to know when to say something and to go for a joke versus not going for a joke. I think that is probably all in that mix. That's the blessing and curse combo
I get
for
that.
me.
I'm kind of like that with movies. Like, I have to stifle myself. Me and my brother go, and a lot of times we end up talking during because we're sharing thoughts and jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we usually have to like sit and like row F, all the way at the front.
Oh,
so we're
yeah.
not disturbing people.
Yeah.
And
That's nice of you guys.
but sometimes though, it's funny when I hear other people's reactions to my reaction. Like if I go to a movie that has a lot of jump scares, they don't always look how they're intended. Like sometimes they're like, you see a kid snatched at a random time because it's meant to be daunting, and
Yeah.
I think that's funny. Like just swoop.
Yeah.
So usually you'll hear like a loud, and then that's me.
Yeah.
But I don't think that'd be my answer to the question in particular. I think my thing is that I can tend to be disarming, which is really great when I'm meeting people, but it also makes it hard to meet people. Like, not just like speaking on my past history of social anxiety, but also like just sometimes I'm not noticeable, which is ironic because I'm like huge. Like I have a soft voice, and so I know that this is the thing with obviously like other people don't know.
Yeah.
Is that I have to like lower my voice and speak outward when I'm trying to get someone's attention.
Right.
Because otherwise their brain's just not registering my voice.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Disarming. That's a good adjective too.
Yeah.
I think there's something about that in particular as like a quality that is it is a blessing in a lot of ways. Cause then I think there's a level of likability that you have because you are disarming, as you put it, or unassuming, or you're able to get away with stuff in a different way. But you do also have to then not fade into the background.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a struggle.
I used to have a joke about it, but it was hard to describe this concept of like, I'm so disarmed, like I'm so unassuming and so big that people forget that I am a person. Like I get bumped into a lot. They're like, "Oh shit! I hope I didn't hurt that mailbox." Yeah. But people didn't get it because they couldn't visualize what I was talking about. And it's like, you'd have to see it from my perspective. Like when I'm walking, people run into me a lot because they don't register
Oh, wow.
person. And it's funny to me.
Maybe it's because you're a boxy male.
That's what I'm saying. I'm box shaped. I'm like those old USPS fucking, what are they called?
The big mailboxes.
The big blue
The
boxes.
big blue boxes.
You know what I'm talking about.
They got one on my street. I drop mail off in there all the time.
Yeah. I get a lot of mail.
To go back to what you were saying though about laughing at the wrong time, or like not at the wrong time, but like, dude, I was at a mic the other night and it was a great mic. Everybody was killing, and this one guy went up and like did a poem.
Oh yeah.
And like the poem wasn't funny, and in the middle of him like taking beats, he was like getting like kind of hoarse, and so he would like sing his poem, and his rhyme is like limericky.
Yeah.
And then he would be like, and he would be like in the middle of his thing, and he was like trying to clear his throat. Funny. And I was dying, and I was the only person laughing in the whole room.
There's this thing I remember very early on when I was in comedy. So I didn't start in my hometown. I started in North Carolina where I was in college, but I would go back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and do mics there in between, like, you know, semesters or like visiting my family or whatever, right? And there's this guy who I saw at mics who was really, really bad. So bad, horrible. And his whole thing was he would like, I wish I had space to like walk around because his thing was he would go on stage, he would take the mic out of the stand, he'd walk to one side of the stage, and then he would say what he thought was a good setup, but it was always something like, women smell kind of funny. And then he would like walk to the other side of the stage, and then he would say, but they got great titties or something like that. So funny. And it was objectively like not a good joke, not even close to a joke, but everybody in the room is laughing, and then it's reinforcing the negative thing for him of him thinking like, oh, I am saying funny things, instead of him realizing that we are laughing at what he is doing and at him instead of with him. So there's the other, like, the downside of that is knowing like, all right, if I'm laughing at the stuff that is not funny, there's potential for it to be like negative reinforcement for this person. But, you know, it was very funny, you know?
I probably would laugh at that too. I don't know why that reminded me of when John Mulaney did Carnegie Hall. And he, for one of his specials, I always thought that was funny because it was like he rented out a whole hall for somebody who like kind of just stands in one spot and sometimes crouches.
Yeah.
And so he's telling one story, and in this story, I don't remember the context, but it was not necessary. He runs across the whole stage.
Yeah.
And all I could think was like, I mean, he's getting use out of it.
He's got to use that whole stage. John Mulaney's not a big act out guy, but he's got to be He's got to be.
It feels like he's trying to be. You see his new face?
I love his new show.
Yeah.
I think he's really starting to get into the weird side of himself, which is really a good move.
Yeah. All right.
Should we go to green?
Move it in. We're getting comfortable. We're getting
boy.
We're getting green.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Here we go.
We got to get some actual green cards.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean these are technically green.
Yeah, they're what?
On camera, they probably look like
teal.
They kind of match the couch.
They do kind of match the couch. I'm going.
And just for the record, we do have green cards.
Boom.
I'm just kidding. I don't have a green card.
Jokes.
What is your superpower? This kind of feels similar to the last one. Let's pick a new one.
Let's pick a new one. Let's go. This card. My superpower is picking out questions that are very similar sounding.
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite thing about you?
What would you consider the worst physical sensation? Like, what's the one thing, like, you felt it once, and you're like, I hope I never have to interact with that ever again.
I got one.
Fire away.
Licking a popsicle stick. When you're, like, eating a popsicle, and then you lick
the stick itself?
stick. It makes my skin crawl, dude.
That is a really tough one. I mean, this is in that similar vein. I hate getting a splinter. That's a really tough one because it's so, you got to dig it out. It's really tough to deal with. This is a recent one, and I don't know if it's the worst, but it's definitely the worst one in recent memory that I had. I had a toenail fall off.
Oh yeah.
I accidentally like kicked some piece of furniture. It was maybe like my bed frame or like a couch or something. And it was my pinky toe, which on my left foot, I broke it when I was in college.
Right.
And so it's already jacked up, and I had the toenail when I kicked the thing. I didn't realize it until one day I was like getting ready for bed. I was like taking off my shoes and socks, and the toenail had broken, and I didn't realize it, and it like got caught on the sock. And so then I had to spend the next couple of weeks just gingerly dealing with this toenail, like that I could feel was loose, like a tooth that I had to keep. I was like trying desperately to keep it on because I didn't want to have to go to a doctor and like take the toenail off and deal with all that other shit. But then eventually it just like the feeling of like having to keep it on and then having to eventually know like I'm just going to have to like rip this off or cut it off. And that was not fun. So it was just like this little nagging, it was so light, but it was like a little sharp. And then once I actually cut the toenail off, there was like this extra little level of pain there, but it was just, it was so strange. And I've never felt anything quite like that.
Right.
It was really uncomfortable and very like a solid month of me just trying to like gingerly handle this, but knowing that it was going to end with me having to get rid of the toenail one way or another.
Mine's, I think, similar, but not as intense, I would say. Mm-hmm. I hate when my hair is just long enough that it pokes me in the eye.
Me too.
Like, I've had some moments where I joke about it a lot, where I get angry at my hair and I punish it by cutting it off. One time, this happened recently. Actually, it happened this year. The beginning of summer, I was like eating cereal, and it kept poking me in the eye, and I was like, it's fine. I'll just brush it away. I chose to have this hair. And then one strand, like I go like this, and a strand falls back, and it goes into my mouth, and I'm like, that's it. So I put everything down. I got my brother's clippers, and I did this.
Hair in the mouth while you're eating.
It's frustrating. I was eating cereal. Those textures do not mix.
Can't relate. You know what's another bad one though, dude? Have you ever bitten? This might be a big dude thing, but have you ever bit your finger while you're eating, like fries or something, dude?
I've bitten forks.
Oh, dude,
that's a. I hate that one.
You're not expecting to eat. Like if there's like a seed that you don't realize is in something, like anything that's foreign.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
When I get gristle in my teeth because it feels similar to like, I don't know if you've ever felt this sensation, like had a feeling that fell out.
No, never.
No.
It's weird. It kind of it feels like, you know what I mean? It feels grainy. It feels like if you've bitten into something like sandy, and gristle feels exactly like that. Like when you find it in your teeth.
Oh,
that's like the one thing I hate about eating barbecue is getting gristle stuck in my teeth. Cause I'm always like concerned, like, did I just lose a tooth eating pork chops? Like,
I have the actual worst one that I've felt. Now it's come to mind because we're talking about teeth and it happened in my mouth. I got dry socket after I got my wisdom teeth pulled.
Oh.
And that is tough. That's like getting stabbed in the face. That was horrible.
Crazy.
I hated
teeth
it.
pain is like some other level of pain. Like, I've had some teeth pain when I was younger. Like I had like a jagged tooth that was like stabbing into my cheek, and it was just like pushing against my other teeth and just hurting my whole mouth.
Oh yeah, I got my wisdom teeth out. No, I didn't get them out. So it's kind of a dumb story. When I got my wisdom teeth, I didn't know what wisdom teeth were. I just remember feeling like a pain in my gums.
Okay.
And and I didn't tell anybody about it because I have ADHD, I'd forget about it. And so the teeth started to grow and they started to pierce through the gum. And so I just like picked at it when I brushed my teeth and eventually opened it myself. So I never had them taken out, and technically it was fine. But what it did was it forced my regular teeth forward.
Okay.
So now there's two teeth on the inside of my jaw. Like right here, I have like hippo teeth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fair. Wow. Oh no. Now I'm thinking of too much about teeth. It's not a good thing to think about.
Who
Yeah,
picked
dude,
this
braces-
question off?
Braces pain. I
Terrible.
had braces when I was young,
You had
and
braces?
braces pain was pretty brutal. Like those front bands.
I had braces too.
I got rid of them. I was like, oh, let me sign the paper, get these things off, bro. I ain't doing
Yeah.
this.
I'm just thinking like the worst sensations. Have you ever like forgotten you were chewing gum and then it got soft from like the grating?
Yeah, I have. I accidentally fell
Never
asleep
had that.
with the gum in my mouth, and that happened to me. You just wake up with sand in your mouth.
It feels like somebody else's spit in your mouth. It's gross.
You got to get some gum with some good structural integrity.
Yeah. Under chew. Yeah, I don't know. I see
There's
those
like-
reels on the
Those like
Instagram.
organic gums.
I like Trident. Trident's a solid one. Trident's never done me wrong.
True. How is that not a slogan? Pay me, Jesus. Oh, you know what the funniest Oral B with that? Remember that cursing commercial they did? Lint liquor.
No.
You don't know that one? It's
They
like
did a
super-
commercial that was a swearing-based commercial.
Yeah, and the idea is they're all chewing Oral B, so their mouths are clean, so they're saying
okay.
things like duty liquor and shit. Into
Orbit.
Shit. Yeah, I think it was Orbit.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
I say
Orbit.
Oral
Because
B?
Orbit
Yeah,
gives
yeah.
you a
Oral
clean
B is
sensation.
the
Oral B is another
toothbrush.
toothbrush, yeah. Oral B is a
Orbit.
toothbrush
Orbit's the one.
brand.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Clean mouth with whatever the English
For a
word.
clean mouth,
Yeah.
for that good clean feeling.
Yeah.
And it's one of the classic. You get a hot lady in a commercial, and
the
everything's
English
okay.
accent makes
Yeah,
it sound fancy.
Yeah.
I think that's why people love Gordon so much, is because he can get away with yelling at you in a British accent, and you don't
Right.
mind
Right.
because it's
I was supposed
British.
to find out he's actually Scottish.
He is, but the Scots don't claim him.
Well, because I think he was like, it's such a peculiar. I've heard that about Ireland too. Of like, even if you're, both parents, if you're like, it's like Mexico to like Mexican Americans. It's like you weren't born here, you're not from here.
Yeah. Well, Scotland in particular too is like such its own thing in the UK.
Yeah.
Because I know they have tried to secede a couple times and create and just become their own country.
Oh, a bunch. It's like referenced in all of their shows. Like
It's
I
tough.
don't know if
Someone
you've
pulled
ever
it
seen
off.
Doctor Who. There's an episode where Doctor Who's a space show. It's like a wizard in space. That's like the best
Right.
way to describe it. British sci-fi in general is just like if science was magic. But so there's an episode where he goes to like the year 2999.
Okay.
England, and England is a spaceship that like is on its own, and his companion at the time is also Scottish, and she's like, "Where's Scotland? I don't see it on the manifest." And like, "Oh, they broke off years ago. They have their own spaceship," and they're like, "Freaking Scotland!"
About time.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's a funny bit about Scotland. I don't know anything else about Scotland, so let's move on.
Let's hit it.
It's good.
Boom!
Good
Time
part
for
of world.
the
I do
great
love Scotland.
personal. Honestly, the last couple of times this one hit deep. It was a little bit existential, so I'm a little. This is the personal pink questions.
I like it.
Pop that meter up.
Oh yeah,
Boom.
it doesn't matter.
Most intense question.
I want to try something because you're a magician.
Okay.
Just say when.
When?
Oh, that didn't. Let me do it.
It's these cards.
Yeah.
Volume.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's
When?
Dealer's choice.
Now that's a magician's force.
Yeah.
Let's do. I want to do one of these ones. See, this is what the magician hates.
Yeah.
When you go actually to the area that they don't want, they'll figure it out. Magicians are crafty.
They are.
We're gonna talk about that for sure.
Damn.
Oh, we got a deep one?
Yeah. I don't even know if I have like a particular answer for this.
Well, I'm excited to see what the question is.
What is the hardest decision you've ever made?
Oh, that is a tough question. What is the hardest decision I have ever made? See, it's funny because like the things that come to mind immediately for me are decisions that in hindsight don't feel that difficult.
Right.
Which is things like breakups or getting sober. Like these things don't strike me now as actual tough decisions. But they are hard decisions. just because I had to like wrestle with a lot.
Yeah.
In those scenarios where it's like, oh, do I want to be with this person? Oh, do I want to get sober? Do I want to quit drinking? Do I want to stop using drugs? All that stuff. That's all tough. Truly, if I'm thinking in terms of like recency bias still, I do think the hardest decision that I've had to make is, I mean, making the decision to like, I think the decision to like, oh, this is so tough. This is really tough.
So
I feel there's a part of me that's like saying, oh, the decision to get sober is a cop-out to answer to this. But I do actually think that is like the real actual answer, because there is a level of, I think it's not just about like becoming like, not just like quitting drinking and doing drugs and stuff. That's not the actual, to me, the way I look at it. I think the harder decision is like actually pursuing the life of somebody who's like a person who is recovering.
Right.
That is the tougher decision, because that is something that requires daily actions. And it requires me to act in a way and go through the world in a way on a daily basis where I have to be present and I have to be attentive and I have to be thinking outside of myself and not be self-centered. I have to not fall into the easy traps of like the things in 12-step programs of like character defects of like, you know, being neglectful, being a people pleaser, all that kind of stuff. That's stuff that I do. And I still have to find ways to like not do that, because now I'm aware of my tendency to do that stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I think that I would say that is probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make. It's not the decision to like quit drinking or quit doing drugs. That was honestly a really easy decision.
Right.
The hardest decision is the actual pursuit of a life that is in recovery.
Right.
That I think is the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Because that requires me also, that bleeds into every other decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
Since then. And I've had to make a lot of hard decisions since then. You know, stuff with my career, stuff with my interpersonal life. But that is the root that all of those other decisions stem from.
Right.
So that I think that's the answer.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a good answer, and I think mine's in a similar vein as well. Less, in the sense of like I don't think it's one specific like, oh, I did this and this was the decision. It's more like consistent acts that stem from a central idea, similar to what you were describing of like. I think my biggest struggle, which is similar to a question we answered a few years ago, is that I'm disabled, and I think in those terms, my answer would be like choosing to, from a certain point till now, like pursue a mentality of like knowing what is and is not in my control, because of my disability, and acknowledging like when I deserve to stand up for myself. And I can remember where it started. I worked with someone a few years ago who like struggled to acclimate to working with me because I was disabled.
Okay.
You know, I have one of the biggest things, I have executive dysfunction. So sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, my brain halts.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to make bilateral decisions because my brain can't slow down. So I freeze.
Yeah.
And there were other things, but that was the biggest thing. And so that relationship forced me to confront like, there are things that I could be better at. There are things that I'll always have to work on. And there are things that are not part of my disability that I should work on for myself. But that was one thing that was like, I can't help that, and it's not fair of them to make me feel bad for that.
Yeah.
And so that became a thing of like, that became how I learned from that point on and how I adapted to things and situations. And it's honestly helped me a lot. I'm a lot more responsive, and for the people that I interact with, that's beneficial because they don't have to wait for me like they used to. But at the same time, it's like I'm not doing it for them. And that comfort allows me to progress at my own pace without having to worry about that.
It's nice to be able to have the awareness of who you are and both your strengths and your limitations.
Yeah.
Because then you're so much better able to interact with the world around you by being able to figure that out. Like I had this experience on MasterChef where we had I think I've worked on the show that we just did. The 6th season that I worked on is currently airing. And I think this was a couple seasons prior to that. And it was a season that was shot at the same time as a season of MasterChef Junior. So I was sort of pulling double duty and I had a lot of work on my plate. And at some point, there was some episode where something that I had forgotten to put in a script, like the math of the way that people were supposed to be eliminated and like how many people were supposed to be eliminated in an episode, it made it into the script incorrectly. Like I had put the wrong number in, and I didn't realize it until it had happened. And there was literally a moment I'm sitting in the control room watching them say the lines, and then I look up, and in the control room they have like a chart basically that's on the wall that's like, this is how everybody is supposed to be. Like, this is what the next episodes are. These are how many contestants we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
And I had gotten something wrong, and I noticed it, and I had to come correct about it. And I was like, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. I know we can fix this, but like, I just need to own up to the fact that I did this.
Right.
And there was a lot of other chaos that season that was going on. So everybody was also in a position where they're like, man, I guess it was time for it to come for you. But I then had to go home and be like, I have to be a little bit more on top of things. I was talking to my wife about it, and I got home, and she was like, yeah, it was a really tough day at work, and it was really hard conversations, and I don't like how I feel right now. And she was like, so how are you handling stuff at work? Like, how do you remember like what's supposed to go in a script, or like what your next things coming up are? And I was like, I just try and remember it. And she's like, you can't just do that. You have to write it down.
Yeah.
You have to take notes. And I was like, I didn't even think about this because I just thought I could do it all myself. But now having somebody be like, no, it's okay to like not just trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, then find ways to like have other people who can help you out. Talk to other people about it. Write it down and tell somebody else to like help you double check things.
Yeah.
And knowing that I have to do that made the rest of that season much easier. And then it's made all the other shows I've worked on since then a breeze, because now I know about myself. I am not capable of remembering every possible thing.
Yeah.
And also it makes me a better coworker because I know that other people are not able to remember all the things. So I can write down some stuff, and then I look like a fucking superhero because I look like I remembered this thing when really I just wrote it down and set the reminder for the day that we're supposed to be talking about this thing.
No, yeah.
On my to-do list app.
I have a lot of moments like that. Like I said, the biggest thing. So I'm on Straterra now, which the way it works is like, I think I mentioned before, it relaxes certain parts of my brain so that I'm not overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't technically increase or decrease my actual ability to pay attention. That's still on me.
Okay.
And so that's still something I struggle with having ADHD. And so there's a lot of moments throughout the day, most weeks where I'm doing stuff like that, like leaving reminders. There's this bit, I write jokes down when I have the time, but if I think of a joke and I don't want to forget it, I text Josh. and then I have that because I'll text somebody.
Yeah.
Because I know that later on when I'm looking for jokes to work on, I go to my search bar in my texts and I just type the word joke idea, and all of the ones I've written in the last month pop up.
Nice.
But you can also do it in notes.
I can't search it in notes like that.
Yes, you can.
No, he's right. I can. It's just faster because I'm like I can literally be like, "Hey Siri, text Josh," and I'm like, "Joke idea, blah blah."
You got to find a good notes app.
Yeah.
There's better ones. I found out about this one called Obsidian. I switched over to it last year. Game changer.
Is it?
Best notes app I've
been
ever
looking
used.
for a new notes app because I've been struggling in notes.
Yeah.
The organization's not that great.
The Obsidian is so, like, I think for people who are really tickled by organization and wanting to have, like, ease of search and ease of, like, visualization of things.
Yeah.
Obsidian works really well. My favorite thing that it does is it has, like, a graph view where I'll even just pull it out and show it to you. I have this basically section now in Obsidian where if I'm looking at like what I'm working on, I can see my entire set and like all of the jokes that I'm currently working on, all of the anything that I could like possibly want, what sets I've done it in, where it's come from, where it could be going to.
There's like a line, like a timeline thing for them. Like you can set your notes in like a, what are those things called? Web?
Yes, it's a web, exactly. Oh, it's not showing up. Hold on. Open graph view. There we go. All right. Look at this. So this is all of my jokes. Wow. And it's color coded by like jokes that I like.
It's like out from the center.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
and then I can see like how often I'm doing it. So like all of the like the greens and the yellows, those are jokes.
Wow.
And the orange and blues, those are sets.
And you can like zoom in on them.
Exactly. And I can see like, all right, these red ones, they're great. I do like these jokes, but I've recorded these jokes, so I don't want to keep doing them. I need to find ways to get over to the greens and the yellows. And maybe some of these other ones that are like the purples and the pinks because those
Honestly,
are new jokes.
I'm probably going to adapt this.
Yeah,
That's something I've struggled with recently because, you know, I've been doing it a while and I have this set that I was used to that I, you know, at this point is 8 years old at least. And sometimes it's just hard to remember. And when I don't like freezing on stage, so I go to the first joke that pops in my head and then, you know.
Oh, I love freezing on stage.
Well, because if I let
Josh's
the
superpowers.
freeze,
He loves freezing on stage.
Because if I let it go on too long, then my executive function kicks in and dysfunction kicks in, and I freeze like I used to. And so that's my way of getting out of it is like, you know, I don't like relying on it, but it is a way to get through a set if I have 5 minutes and I left and I just want to get to the end.
Right.
You know. Because I end the same way either way, which is like I have impressions that I'm working on, whether they're new or old. And those are easier because I physically acted them out, so they're easy to remember. So that's become a thing. It reminded me of, there are some smaller ones that are a little bit weirder that I don't think other people do. Like, sometimes I need verbal confirmation when I'm doing something. Even if it's like my own thought, I need to say it out loud so that someone else is present so that I can acknowledge it in my brain.
Yeah.
One of the things is sometimes I forget what day it is. So like we'll be sitting and hanging out and then you'll just hear me say, today is Tuesday. And it's like,
it's just so that way you can remember.
Someone's like, yeah, it is. And it's like, I don't care if it is or not. It's like, that's me trying to remember.
Right.
It's like, because I lose days, you know, I lose, I don't forget days. I don't recognize time passing.
Time, especially, this is one of the things that I've noticed as I get older too, because I really also, I lose track of day of the week or sometimes, you know, time of day too. Yeah. And that also is a byproduct, I think, of, you know, age, but also we're in a weird line of work and artistic pursuit where we have insane hours.
Yeah.
You know, like I got home, I did a show last night in San Diego at 10 o'clock. The show started 25 minutes late and then it ended at midnight. And so I am on the road back from San Diego at 12:30. I'm home at 2. I'm not going to bed until like 2:30.
Yeah.
And then I'm waking up today to come do a podcast. And as I'm waking up, my wife is like, I've been awake for a little while because I did like my morning routine and stuff before I came over here. But my wife's like just getting up because she is somebody who sleeps much later than I do. Generally, she needs more hours. I've trained myself to like be okay with getting a minimum hours of sleep, which is not great.
Right.
But also because of the life that, you know, we lead, whether it's through work or creativity or both, and that overlap. We fuck with our sense of time. Yeah. It's very strange.
That's what I'm saying. You're also in production too. Like there's no clocks in production. You know what I mean? You're just,
no, it's like a casino. You're just sitting in there. You're sitting in a dark room. You don't see the sunlight.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. It's very strange.
And time's like a construct anyways, right? You
know
what I mean?
Well, actually, some physicists theorize that time has a physical presence in the universe.
Right.
There's people that speculate. You've shown me a video on this.
I do believe that. I was just kind of being like hippy dippy.
Well, time's particles, right?
Time might be particles.
At some degree, right?
Moving waves.
I don't know, man.
I will say I did fuck my schedule up last year by accident, sort of on purpose, because I had to for work. MasterChef shot in Australia last season.
Oof.
And I didn't go, but they had me on remotely working.
Right.
And so I was on Australian hours.
Oh, that's like, what,
18 hours ahead from here.
Crazy.
So it was
They're in tomorrow.
weirdly enough not that difficult from here because it was basically like comedy hours for a lot of the job. There were a couple days where it was like starting at 8 p.m. and waking and ending at 8 a.m. But that was only a few days. Most of the time it was like we're starting at 2 and I finish at like midnight.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, so this is close to what I would be doing anyway. And then I'm just awake until like 1 or 2 in the morning, which is also what I would be doing anyway. And I actually preferred it to regular production hours, which is much more, I'm getting up at like 5 o'clock. I have to be in the office by like 6 or 6:30. And then I'm on set for 10 to 12 hours. And then I have to maybe fit in a mic or a show, and then I have to go back to bed to wake up crazy early and do it all over again. This way, at least I'm like getting to keep sort of a semblance of what my usual schedule would be. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually nice to be up late and be able to work and not be bothered.
Right.
So I have since readopted that as a little bit more of just my regular everyday schedule because it's just like, oh yeah, this is nice. I like having the quiet.
Oh yeah.
Comedy is fun. It's like vampires. Comedians are like vampires. You know, they're like up all night. Most of them suck. I love being up like that though. A little bit before COVID, I like had a schedule where I was like waking up at 3 a.m. and I would just just so I could be alone in the like early hours and just write and chill and stuff.
Damn.
I like being up in the dark. My girlfriend hated it though because I had to go to sleep at 7 p.m. So I would be all like asleep while she's like trying to chill, you know.
Man, if only you had been filming this, you could be like that influencer dude who has the mouth tape and does the push-ups at 4 a.m. and puts his face in ice water. Yeah,
that's
the
crazy.
Saratoga ice water.
I wasn't doing any of that. I was just smoking weed in the morning and then
ironically
meditating.
Needs to chill.
Yeah, that's funny.
He should be meditating more than I feel like that guy's not actually meditating. I feel like he's faking it all.
Also, so I used to think, ice water in the face, drink ice water in the morning was like a thing recommended. But I found out recently, like, it's incredibly stress inducing. It's like,
yeah,
because
spiking your cortisol levels.
Yeah, the reason that you're so aware is because your body thinks you're fucking dying. Because
you don't want that.
Yeah.
No.
I have this, I don't know, there's something about me, like when I wake up, I'm like up. Like as soon as I open my eyes, I'm like, you know how the Undertaker, when he would like get up, he would like sit up or like Kane would do. That's what happens to me in the morning.
I'm kind of that way too, where if I'm lying in bed, I'll just sort of be like in this half sleep. And then once I physically like open my eyes, I'm like, all right, I'm awake.
Yeah, it's awake time.
I might be a little groggy, but I'm up.
Same.
Have you seen Undertaker now? That guy's weird. He comes in on a chopper with like a do-rag.
Right. Well, I think it's a bandana, right?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't live that kind of lifestyle for that long and not be normal.
It's just such a funny hard flip. He went from being like metal goth to like
Sturgis.
Sturgis. Yeah. That's the word.
I think a lot of them did actually. Like a lot of the old goth metal people are now motorcycle wearing or motorcycle riding kind of guys. You know,
That's how they be. It's awful. It's
Well,
lame. Well,
let's ride this motorcycle on out. I don't know. I was trying to think of a
right
segment.
out on the horizon on a
There you go.
motorcycle.
Into the sunset we go, boys.
I'm trying to think of a pun.
I can't think. I'm not a big motorcycle.
Yeah.
Me
I
either.
could do an imitation of a motorcycle, but I'm not gonna.
Let's rev our engines.
Maybe
you
we'll
go.
do it on the Patreon. Go check that out. But for now, this one's done.